The Infinite Self and Divine Love. The beauty of using the simple and highly effective practice of spinal breathing pranayama is that, whether or not we understand the details of the transformation taking place as a result, the process will occur. So, in a way, all of this talk about the marriage of ecstatic conductivity and inner silence and the rise of outpouring divine love is a moot point. If the tree is properly fertilized and watered, the fruit will come out. It will happen regardless of any other assessments. Nevertheless, it is nice to have an idea about where we are going with all this. Until it happens, the discussion on the ultimate consequences of our practice is merely information, a roadmap. It is good to have a vision of our possibilities. We can then have some benchmarks to be able to verify for ourselves the cause and effect of what we are doing. This can inspire us to keep up our daily practice. Daily practice over the long term is essential if we are going to proceed smoothly and steadily along our path. It was mentioned that what we are cultivating within ourselves eventually becomes apparent in our daily surroundings also. In deep meditation, we will find the rise of inner silence, which increasingly we come to regard as the center of our sense of self. As this intimate stillness, pure bliss consciousness, within us becomes dynamic through the blending with ecstatic conductivity that is radiating outward into our surrounding environment, then we find that our sense of self moves outward also. In the beginning, we may experience our inner silence as an inactive witness, where we find ourselves observing events as though separate from them. This witness, separated from events, is a common experience that arises in those doing deep meditation alone. But when this unmoving witness quality is combined with the rise of ecstatic conductivity, then stillness becomes dynamic in our external environment. Inner silence then combines with the dynamics of everything going on around us. It is an extension of the marriage of opposites within us, only now it is occurring around us as well. What are the implications of this? Quite simply, we find our sense of self emerging everywhere in our daily life. Does this mean we can no longer distinguish our body from that of another? No. It only means that we are able to see oneness, our oneness, and the diversity of our environment at the same time. Then we begin to see by direct perception that our self is truly infinite. This is not an extension of the ego self, rather, it is a dissolving of it. Ego is found in the perception of separateness. In the flowering of enlightenment, this narrow perception gives way to a much greater one, the direct recognition of the omnipresence of our inner silence and its essential role in the dynamic play of life everywhere. It is through the practice of spinal breathing pranayama and its impact on our inner silence, cultivated in deep meditation, that this dynamic aspect of perception is activated. It is similar to how we initially entered inner space within our body through the purification and opening of the spinal nerve. From there, our experience moves out through every nerve in our body. Then we see the true nature of our inner realms. Similarly, this radiation continues outward until we can see our true nature in everything in our external environment. The end result of this process is an outpouring of love, compassion, and service to others. When enabled by the flow of ecstatic conductivity, inner silence flows out to everyone and everything around us in an effortless embrace. It is natural enough. If we are filled with ecstatic bliss inside, we will also become filled with ecstatic bliss outside. This is the quality that has been observed in the great sages and teachers of all the world's cultures and religions. It is the birthright of every human being. Spinal breathing pranayama is one of the key practices for activating the profound potential for good that exists within all of us. By taking full advantage of our inner capabilities, we can help ourselves and everyone on the earth move steadily along toward spiritual fulfillment. This is the natural expansion of what we are in our essential nature, divine love.